which brings us to the technical factors. It was encoded in ABC, which is pretty much the prevailing codec for Blu Ray at this point. VC1 was there for a while, but ABC's kind of taken over. It's around 35 megabits per second, which is above average. And then the sound was a Dolby True HD, and that was around 3 megabits per second for most of the movie. Sometimes above, sometimes below, but overall it was around that bit rate. The sound was great. I'm half deaf as it is, but you kept remarking it was a little bit front heavy, but
yeah, it was front heavy, and there wasn't a lot of thudding coming from the subwoofer, not a lot of rumbling, room rumbling bass. That being said, the music sounded fantastic. All of the dialogue was very center channel. It was crisp and clear. There were a few moments where the surround kicked in. I believe there was some when the storm was coming and the wind was rustling and then the rain coming down. It sounded very naturalistic and it was very atmospheric. So the audio is vastly improved, and it really enhanced the HD experience. Any more thoughts on audio?
No, you pretty much summed it up there. As far as picture quality goes, I kept looking for evidence of digital noise reduction, DNR, which will completely obliterate your film grain. And
obliterate the hairs on Kevin Bacon's ass.
They would have been gone. And it'll also make your characters like the flesh tones look waxy. And I didn't see any evidence of that through most of the film. There wasn't as much film grain as I was expecting for a 30-year-old film.
No, I was really, really shocked. I was expecting pretty heavy film grain. The picture was so clean. I mean, it was, for a film this old, I just watched Terminator the other night, and it was just a dirty looking print compared to this. I mean, there was very few specks. And I actually really love seeing the grain in film. I don't mind at all seeing the overlay of film grain when I'm watching an older film. This movie, they did a hell of a job on the clown. There
was some good restoration work that went into this, or it was just really well preserved from the start. So Personally, I would give the picture, mainly based on some areas where there's some softness, I would give it a solid 3.5 out of 5.
The video?
Yes.
How are we at Kakalaki Movie Madness rating these things?
Just
are we
pulling things out of our ass?
I'd give it a solid. I'd give it a solid 5 tamales. Out of 5 tamales.
That's good.
We're going to do tamales, I think.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, I'd give it a solid 5. And the reason why is because the blacks were even. They were really nice. But really it's because I was so impressed with how clean the print was. How little they, employed digital noise reduction. And if they did, it was just very slight. Just truly impressed by it. Now, I usually won't give something a 5 out of 5, but I definitely give this 5 tamales. Audio, I give a 3.5. I get maybe a 4. So definitely it's up there. Yeah. This is a great Blu-ray disc. If you are a fan of Friday the 13th, you must pick this up. This is a must own. It's definitely a huge improvement over DVD. Huge.
Oh yeah, special features.
Oh yeah, special features.
Yeah.
Yeah, which there are a lot of special, especially for being a single disc. Now, do you know if this is a dual layer or?
I believe I read that it was a dual layer. It's kind of hard to.
So 50.
Yeah. It should be a 50 gig.
50 gig. there was no liking for special features on this, and you know, the great thing about the Friday the 13th series is there's a plethora of information out there, and that continues on with this Blu Ray. Now, I don't know what was on previous releases. I don't know what was carried over. Most of what we saw appeared to be high definition content. You know, the commentary, while being rather dry, was somewhat informative, but I have to say Sean Cunningham gets a little repetitive.
Very, very repetitive. The magic show is a phrase he repeats over and over again.
Yeah, the magic show, and in several of the other features, interviews with Sean Cunningham, he keeps talking about the magic show and how, you know, they had to do the effects back then were like doing a magic show, and he came off as a bit of an ass. I'm sorry, but he did. You know, I hate to say that.
I would agree with that. Yeah.
Some of the other, they had they had like a gathering of cast and crew.
The reunion.
It
was all the B-level people.
And it was, I mean, some of them had some interesting stories, and so, I mean, if you're a completist wanting to know every bit of trivia, which I am on, not on this, but I am on other things, so I understand, I'd be pretty happy with the, overall with the features, so I'd give the features a solid 4 tamales.
I can agree with that,
yeah.
Except for Sean Cunningham, but, you know, we can't really fault the guy for wanting to wallow in his one big success.
So in conclusion, this is one hot tamale.
A must-own for horror fans.
Yes.
So that's it for our first review. Next week, we'll actually be back out on the road on the hunt for some more bargains, since that's our favorite thing to do anyway.
It's our shtick.
It's our thing. It's what we do.
It's our niche.
Yes.
Our niche market.
Yes, we'll be traveling around the upstate, and hopefully we'll find some more spots for...
And we go out there for you, by the way. We do this for you. This is a public service. You know, this is like going to the soup kitchen.
It is. Yeah.
You know, it makes me feel warm on the inside.
Houses for Habitat for Humanity. But we do our thing. This is...
And it makes me feel so good to help you folks out there. You know.
So until next time, I'm the other Jason.
I'm Crazy Jason.
We'll see you next time on Kakalaki Movie Madness.
Madness!